Welcome everybody to another favorite mod video from Deep South Gaming. Today we're going to be going over one of my favorite mod packs in the game. We'll be going over the Colossus mod pack, if I can find it. There it is. As you see, there's plenty of stuff here. I do have tutorial videos on all this, so I'm not going to go over everything, but I am going to touch on a few things. Now, yes, these have unrealistic capabilities. And yes, I do use some of them just because it makes things easier. Primarily the one I use is the Colossus Harvester. It has a standard capacity of 25,000, which is decent on its own. But you could bump that up to 50, 250, 500,000, 1 million, or 2.5 million. And with the engine setup, it starts with a 900 horsepower engine, which will do 29 miles per hour. You could bump that up to 1500 and it'll do 43. You go to 2000, it'll do 88. And 3,000 horsepower to do 150 miles per hour. Now, even with the unrealistic header, you can only harvest at 45 miles per hour. So, do you need all this power? No. I mean, most you really need to go is 1500. And still, I mean, 900 horsepower is plenty. You got Michelin tires. You got Trailer Borg, Continentals, Midas, BKT, and back to Michelin. You got your standard 2, wides, wide 2, crawler tracks, crawler track 2, crawler track wide 2, front twins 2, and back to standard. And then pretty much, same thing with all that. Your design, you got your standard design, your camouflage design, or you got your Case IH axial flow skin, which I'm partial to. You got your US and your EU, which is just the safety equipment. Window tint, you got medium, dark, red. You got a lot of different colors. Like I said, I cover a lot of this in the Colossus tutorial. Your exhaust, that's your actual exhaust. You got like a whitish colored exhaust come out or a black one, which I have a mod that gives me a black exhaust for my stuff. And I always go with long pipe, no matter what I'm doing, just to make it easier. And then you got all your colors. If you go with the case design, it does add 300,000. So just keep that in mind. Base model, you're looking at 2,800. I mean, 328,000, which ain't a bad price for a big harvester. And then you have your Titan headers, which this whole pack was done by Chris S. and Riley S. You can put transport wheels on it. This is just a plain Jane header. I mean, it'll do 10 miles per hour instead of 6. So if you want to keep it not too unrealistic, you got US and EU design, which is just your markers. And then you could make this camouflage. Put your brands on it or no, for the lizard. And then you got all your colors you could change. It's a good header. I use this one a lot. And then you have your unrealistic header, which comes with wheels no matter what. You got your standard working width of 16 meters. Then you got a 25 and a 50 meter. And this will harvest at 45 miles per hour if you have the upgraded engine or the real speed mod. You got US design, same as the other ones. The other one. It has 77,000 for it. Then you have the swathing header, which I like. Again, 16 meter, 25, 50. US or EU design, camouflage or standard, brands, yes or no. This one will give you a yield bonus on your crops and your straw. I have a video with swathing versus traditional versus um, tractor swathing. Y'all can check out that video. I'll probably link it to this one when I upload this. But yeah, this is a good one to have. And then you have a rice header. It'll just do regular rice. You got same sizes, same options, but this will just do rice only. I have accidentally bought this instead of a regular header a couple times, so watch it when you do that so you don't waste money. And then you also have your corn header. You got your, this is the basic one. Standard design, brands yes or no, and you change your colors. It's 13.8 meters wide and will do 10 miles per hour. Then you have your unrealistic, which is 13 meters, 25, or 50. And then the options are the same as all the other ones. And it'll do 50 miles per hour harvesting corn or sunflowers. I don't really use the forage harvester or the cotton harvester too much. And I definitely don't use the vineyard stuff because I don't do vineyards. The mower I do use a lot. For the quick mow, it's 3.1 meters wide and I run at 16 miles per hour. Again, standard or camouflage, or you just change the colors. Under camouflage, you can't change colors. That's the color you get. But for the unrealistic one, you got 3.1 meters, you got 5, 10, 25, or 50 meters. And you can put your crop guides on it. This will lay down widespread or will do a swath, so you won't need a windrower. Comes in handy with large fields. And I also love this tedder. Comes in standard working width of 17 meters. You can go with 25 or 50. BKT, trailer board, tires. You camouflage or not. Unrealistic crop guides, yes or no. You could do wide spreading, or you could drop a hay swath, which is convenient because it saves a step. Even if you're doing the standard version of 17 meters, that's still pretty good. And not having to come back and windrow it is awesome. The baler, I don't really use too often. I have used it before, but it has a standard working width of 2.8. Then you go to 5, 10, 25, and 50. Trailer board, Michelin, BKT, Vertestein, and Continentals. Midas, Nokian tires, and back to trailer board. Standard camouflage design, US or EU. Beacon lights, you can change your beacon lights, which got 3 designs for that. Brands, yes or no. Crop guides, if you're going unrealistic. Squirrel bell twine, don't get lizard. Silage additive tank, yes or no. And then you got your main colors. If you have an extremely large field, like in some of the 4X maps, which if you're on console, unfortunately, y'all can't do 4X maps. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I know I was playing on Arkansas 4X the other day, and there's one field that you start with. It's part of starting farm, so it's a field, but it's not a field. You can fertilize it and everything, but it doesn't give you the size of it. Well, let's just say it's probably well over 150 acres big. And I got almost 800 square bells off of it. And if I had used something like this, it'd probably been a lot easier if I just used a standard baler. I did half of it hay and half of it just square bells, so I'd wrap them, do silage. Took forever, but this probably would have helped out a little bit. It's a good baler, don't get me wrong. I just don't really use it too often. I do use this though. The lightning wrapper, so fast. And the wrap on it lasts forever. I did half that filled and only used like 4 rolls. But I could set the cruise control on the tractor, and by the time I get from one bell, pick up a bell, I just keep going. What, 23, 24 miles per hour? And by the time I get to the next bell, it's already ready to pick up the next one. I would recommend this for baling. I mean, not baling, for silage wrapping. And it'll do, if you got the selectable bell size, or the mod that lets you do bigger bells, which is a cross-platform mod. This will do them all, which is very nice. You can change your color from white to green to natural green, empty, and black. And you can change the main color, design color, and the ring color, and you can put a license plate on it. And then you got your spreaders. You got your semi-unrealistic one, which will do lime and fertilizer. You got your tire options, your capacity. You could do 10,000, 20, 40, or 100,000. And it'll go at 15 miles per hour. If you go with the unrealistic one, all these options are the same. All that's the same. It'll do 48 miles per hour. Plus, you could also do manure in it, which is good for when you're doing precision farming. They say you should do manure before you plant. I honestly haven't noticed a difference because I have tried it both ways. But this will raise your nitrogen 80 points using fertilizer. And then you also have one to spread salt if you play with snow on. I generally don't. But yeah, like I said, all the rest of this equipment I go over pretty in depth in the Colossus videos. So I think I'll just leave y'all here. And if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss another episode. And feel free to comment or share this video. Thank you from Deep South Gaming.